I got into this because of how our freedoms were being infringed upon. My platform was entirely based on freedom, especially medical freedom. And Dick, here's the part you haven't heard before. So everybody thinks the story started in 2020 as a COVID freedom fighter. The story actually goes all the way back to 1985 because as a young boy growing up in Mississippi, I didn't do drugs. I've never done drugs. I don't drink much. I certainly didn't drink back then. I've never smoked. So when I was a teenager, going through the angst of normal teenage years, I turned to music. I turned to hard rock, heavy metal. And those of you old enough to remember might remember that back in 1985, we went through a round of censorship and restriction of freedoms back then. The albums that I listened to, the way I dealt with the stresses in my life, all of a sudden you had some senators' wives who wanted to slap warning labels on those albums. They said, hey, these albums are dangerous. We can't let kids listen to this. We called that censorship then, and we are experiencing our own form of censorship now with this current administration. So actually, I've been a freedom fighter for
Thank you very much for being with us. Please proceed.
We would like to thank you and the committee for the opportunity to testify before you.
You can speak directly into the microphone. Thank you.
Before I begin, I would like to introduce the president of the PMRC, Pam Howard, and our treasurer, Sally Nevius. The Parents Music Resource Center was organized in May of this year by mothers of young children who are very concerned by the growing trend in music toward lyrics that are sexually explicit, excessively violent, or glorify the use of drugs and alcohol. Our primary purpose is to educate and inform parents about this alarming trend, as well as to ask the industry to exercise self-restraint.
I can only say that I found your statement to be boorish, incredibly and insensitively insulting to the people who were here previously, that you could manage to give the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States